For the West Indies, Chris Gayle comes back into the team. So they do not have their pace quartet. Instead, they have two spinners. Chris Gale's there, and, well, I suppose Jimmy Adams will also turn his arm around a bit. So just a touch shaky here once again. Lots of newcomers, 3, 4, 10 matches. But, well, they'll have to fight hard today, won't they? Brian Lara looking a touch confident of that toss. And, of course, Wasim Akram, thinking that the wicket will take some spin later on, has decided to bat first. The weather once again in Toronto, clear, blue skies, wonderful weather, but despite that, there was some overnight dew, and that has delayed play just a bit, so it began about 45 minutes late. Let's pick up the Pakistani batsman. As soon as Saeed Anwar and Wajahat Basti walked in, they were greeted by a very strange, even historic sight, as we catch up with the highlights.
Thank you.
And I think we might well be in for some change in tactics. And I think this is history in the making. The West Indies opening the bowling with a spinner. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are watching a very, very momentous occasion, a great moment in the West Indian cricket history.
Looking again.
Well, it hasn't made any difference to Saeed Anwar. He still managed to get the ball off. Get a couple. And if they run fast, they might get a third. So, Ramiz, new tactics.
Yes, unusual, but I think the theory behind the spinner coming on to bowl first over.
Was it a chance?
Four wides there. Courtney Walsh drifting down the pads, the leg side of Saeed Anwar. Getting a bit of in-swing, but misdirected.
He bowled him, so that experiment of opening the bowling with the spinner has worked. Chris Gayle has got the wicket of Saeed Anwar, one of the most prolific of opening batsmen.
Well, this is a huge wicket. Saeed Anwar trying to whip the ball around through mid-wicket square leg. A little late on that one. The ball did spin a little bit. And that is the breakthrough that the West Indies were looking for. Anwar gone for 6, and Pakistan now lose their first wicket for 13.
Inzamam ul Haq coming in to replace Saeed Anwar. Chris Gayle continuing, going for the big one. Wajahatullah Basti and getting it away. It's a good shot there.
Good use of the feet from the youngster. 1, 2 and 3 and down, and hit it in the gap. Played it with the spin and didn't try to hit it too hard. Once he got to the pitch, all he had to do was to place it, and he did that wonderfully well.
Just over his head, and goes away for 4, clipped away off the legs. Flying attempt by Ricardo Powell. The West Indies are right on the toes. Correction by Adams at backward square leg. Such a good athlete, Jimmy Adams. I must say, I've enjoyed watching West Indies in these few matches here in Toronto. After some of their poor showings in recent years, except the Test series against Australia, there seems to be a better attitude. That's well struck. Very good blow by Inzamam. Bad ball from Dillon, and he really hit it hard. It's short. I've been saying all along here in Toronto, these pitches have played quite decently, and but they are on the slow side as club pitches, so if you bang it in short, the ball sits up. It doesn't race through quickly. It just sits up, and he's asking to be smacked. Short and put away again. Going to be a close to run thing here, and just managing to pull it back. That's the longest part of the boundary.
So they go for 3.
It's a pity, you know, that we don't have a facility, a computer that can tell you how many runs are scored off the back foot and how many are scored off the front foot. It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? I keep talking about pitch the ball up. Somebody should be stood at mid-off and saying to these bowlers, pitch it up, pitch it up.
Pakistan, having lost the wicket of side Anwar early on, was bowled by Chris Gale in Gale's second over. Now Henry Bryan. Gone. Off stump hit. No question about that. So Pakistan lose their second wicket. Not a particularly clever shot from Basti.
No, I didn't think that was a particularly good shot. I don't think this ball is that short. Maybe just a touch shorter than normal, but he's trying to work it from off stump on length, really. Just keeps a bit down on him, but I'd like to give more credit to the bowler than the shot that was played by Basti. 36 for 2.
It's a good start for the West Indies, with the second wicket here by Henry Bryan.
So his feet just get planted and he then tries to work it. It's okay working it, but that right foot's got to go back, you see. It never moves the right foot. Now that was footwork. What a stride into that for a batsman that's just come in. Wonderful shot. Really big stride out to the pitch of the ball. If you move your foot quite a long way, have a big stride, there's less chance of the ball moving from when it pitches to when you play it. It's got less distance to move.
Smacked away. Really didn't have all that much room. That's a good shot.
Well, that's a little bit of quality batsmanship. He waited for the ball and took it late. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Back cut it rather than square cut it. But of players who brought up in Australia on pitches that bounce a lot play like that. They play the ball late.
Caught behind. Good catch by Jacobs. Inzamam goes. Another crucial strike for the West Indies. No wonder they're happy. They've lost their third wicket, Pakistan, and a big one.
Well, no excuse for that shot. He just played a glorious back-cut shot. The opportunity to bat right through the innings, or a lot of the innings, and then he's just fishing and fiddling outside the off-stump. I mean, that's well bowled Mervyn Dillon for pressurising him a bit, but there was really no need for that. He wasn't under pressure because he'd just got a boundary. 46 for 3.
Yusuf Yohana, very promising player, now coming in, a very sensible cricketer as well, coming in to join Amir Sahil at the dismissal of Inzamam. And that's a good shot down the ground. Straight away, just managed to get his hands onto it, but it will go all the way. Amir Sahil looks in very ominous form.
Well, again, it's such a positive, big stride out to the ball, look.
There's a man there, but I don't quite think he's going to get to it. He'll get there on the bounce. No, he won't. Oh, dear. If you're a man fielding at fine leg, there are few things that can be a little more embarrassing than this one. When you overrun and the ball goes behind you for 4. Well, these are the few things that even schoolboys know, that the ball's going to curve away when it's played in that manner. When you play a sweep shot, the ball curves away. Now this way it'll curve towards the other side. This is what Chris Gale should have known. Man coming under it, will take it. Jimmy Adams is the man at square leg. And Amir Sohail, who's looking really good, is gone, and Pakistan are 68 for 4. Well, with that wicket, Brian Lara will certainly be tempted to keep Mervyn Dillon going for some more time, some more overs. The ball cramping him. It was angled across his body. He was really in no position to play that pull shot, Amir Sohail. You can see his arms were cramped as he played that. Simple catch to Jimmy Adams at square leg. Soil's out for 21. It's 68 for 4.
Oh, James.
Well shot. There's no one out there, and just a little bit of drift of line from just outside off stump to middle of the leg, and well put away by Johanna.
This is beautiful batting from Yusuf Johanna. He knew that the ball was in place for him to go through with that shot. Uppish, but away from the fielder, through mid-on and mid-wicket area. And there's no cushion out there, and went to the ropes in a flash.
That's it. Somebody's got to go. Yeah, he's got to go. I don't care what quality of off spinner, he has got to go. Somebody has to smack him. Yes, good use of the feet there by Yusuf Johanna. Very positive going down the pitch. Well, this is another boundary. This is a very good shot. Just a little bit of width outside the off stump from Courtney Walsh. Abdul Razak had been sent as a pinch hitter for Pakistan in the World Cup. So we know that he can play shots. That's a good quality shot.
So we've just seen a little bit of impetus from Pakistan.
That's a huge hit by Abdul Razak. It's gone for a big one. Not as big as some of the hits we have seen from Ricardo Powell. It's still 6 runs.
Well, every time I see this young kid, I'm impressed with his talent and also his common sense.
Should be another boundary. Nice juicy full toss on the pads, an attempted Yorker gone wrong. It's 136 for 4. Sure. Very pretty player, Yusuf Johanna for the Pakistanis. He's done a terrific job for his team here. Oh dear. I don't think he pulled it back. He certainly got it back and threw it, but I just thought, a fair distance away, that his foot touched the rope as he did that, but we'll wait and see. I'm sure we'll know very soon.
Well, the West Indies just losing their way a bit in the field. This was relatively simple. Jimmy Adams not keeping his eyes presumably on the ball. And that, to me, is a boundary. Hand and foot together, hitting the ropes.
They're picking their gaps superbly. That's the longest boundary on the ground, and it went there like a flash.
That is a majestic stroke from Yusuf Johanna. Once again, picking the gap. Moving inside the stroke and helping himself again through that mid-wicket boundary.
Rumiz has been talking to you about third man being in. That's not a good ball at all, I'm afraid, from Hendy Bryan. It gave him width to play that shot.
Gave the batsman the width, and also Yusuf Johanna had the fielder in mind. All he had to do was to place the ball in that direction, which he did adequately. Just drawing away, making room for himself, opening the face of the bat and running it down.
Now here's Chris Gayle. I'm afraid that's not the way to start. When the batsman gets 4 of the first ball, pressure squarely on the bowler from there on.
Bit of inexperience coming in. Chris Gayle has bowled so wonderfully well when he has just tried to pitch the ball in the right area, flighted the ball, but I think he's been asked to really fire it in. And when he's changed his bowling style, he's only managed to give batsmen the width on a full toss.
Over, Chrissy. Come on, over.
There's 4 people inside the circle on the off. And the ball's still gone through for 4.
This is a classic cover drive. And Johanna now goes on to 91 and Pakistan 203. Look at this stroke. Beautiful timing. The ball was there to be hit, but it was placed so nicely and middled so beautifully that it went to the boundary in a flash.
Well, obviously Lara's lost confidence because he split the field 2 and 2 now inside the circle. Johanna wants 2, and why won't he? Very good running to get back to the firing end by Johanna. I think there'll be a fair struggle on to want to take the strike against Gale in the 49th over.
Full toss once again in bowled by Chris Gale. The fielder all had to do was to throw it back nicely, and the throw was again wayward.
Oh, it might just get 4. What a good shot from Johanna. What a good young man Pakistan has found in Johanna.
Well, this has been an excellent innings from Yusuf Johanna, and this shot in particular was a treat to watch. It's very difficult to get the ball away when it's pitched up to you, but look at that, making room for himself and then opening the face of the bat with his wrists, placing it to perfection.
Now 98. 3 balls to go. Will Razak come back? Will they challenge the throw? They will. And it's gone. What a throw from Adams. On the bounce, not the stump. End of a very good innings from Razak. But on 99, it puts Johanna back in strike. And that's why this is such a good team effort from Pakistan.
Well, a wonderful innings from Abdur Razak. An unselfish effort in the end from Abdur Razak. There was never a 2 in there, but Razak supporting his partner because it was just 2 required for him to get 100, Yusuf Johanna. Pakistan 217 for 5.
Johanna on 99. Johanna is 100 and 103. Top innings from the young man. He's coming of age as an international cricketer, and he really could not have produced a better innings than this. The young jewel of the making for Pakistan.
Oh, what a knock. Was cool as a cucumber when he came on to bat. I've always stated that he's got an excellent temperament. But this innings has been great to watch as well.
Single to round it off. Courtney Walsh's last over produced 12 after 50 overs. Pakistan 222 for 5. Johanna 104 not out. Moin Khan didn't get a ball. The last 14 overs, Rameez, 122 runs.
Well, this is where Pakistanis have been so good all through the World Cup. Moin Khan and company later down the order have been doing the work for them, and this time it was the younger blood who did it for them. Yusuf Johanna getting a lovely century and Abdur Razak supporting him well.
A magnificent record stand between Yusuf Johanna and Abdur Razak, rescuing the Pakistanis and taking them to 222 for 5. But some trouble certainly at the top where none of their big guns fired. Amir Sohail looking aggressive, but only 21. Great innings by Yusuf Johanna, only the 3rd century in Toronto, and Abdur Razak a fine 55. 2 wickets for 42 for Merv Dillon, and the rest, well, a wicket apiece for Hendy Bryan and Chris Gale, but not too much joy there for the West Indian bowlers. Of course, it was a much better performance by the West Indian bowlers when it came to giving away extras. They were far more controlled, but the Pakistanis battling to 222. 223 the target then for the West Indies, and they could make 215 in match number 1. Well, perhaps they could do it here in match number 2, couldn't they? We'll catch up with their chase right after the break.
Super shot.
Just pitched it up a little bit further than his earlier deliveries, Wasim Akram.
You see, although he's gone for 4 with a beautiful shot, I think you can set fields to that. You pitch it up and somebody plays a glorious front foot drive, then you just got to put up your hand and say, well, look, that's cricket. It's when you bowl a ball halfway down the pitch and you can cut it, you can hook it, you can pull it, you can hit it any way you want. There's no captain in the world can set fields for that.
Just a little extra bounce there from Wasim. That's a good shot. He was onto the back foot. He's mainly a back foot player. Shuffles. But he's placed it beautifully. So the boundary would have taken some pressure off the West Indies, now 14 for no loss. Good shout that. Maybe a little high.
Yes, I agree with Sunil. I know he's a small man, but at the same time, he hit it on the top of the thigh, and it just might have created enough doubt there for the umpire. It was certainly in line. It was worth a good shout from anybody who got a good line on the ball, a good angle and could see it.
Good shot. Beats the fielder.
Well, there was just a reasonable chance to stop that. A good dive might well have stopped a good shot. It was Wasti now at square leg. Go too quickly. Really good fielder might have got that. I think he's a bit like I was, Wasti. He don't like getting his trousers dirty.
He's waved at it. That's a pretty ordinary shot, Jeffrey.
It is. It's one of those shots where I think he changed his mind. I think he was in two minds what to do, and he finished up just sort of a nothingness shot. I don't think there was any power there. He didn't even flash at it. He just poked the bat out in the end. And with great disappointment, he departs, leaving West Indies 21 for 1.
The West Indies have just lost the wicket of Shivnara and Chandapal. And as Wavell Hines comes to replace him, that's how Chandapal was out, playing a half-hearted cut shot, caught behind by Moin Khan.
Campbell's got to be careful here. Coming across his wicket, we've seen him bowled around his legs and leg before as well in recent times. He's in good form, Sherwin Campbell. Gone straight into cover's hands. A very slap shot by Campbell, and the West Indies have lost their second wicket as Yusuf Yohanna, the century maker, calls in a comfortable waist-high catch.
Another loose delivery gets a reward. Loose stroke from Sherwin Campbell. Weight not properly into the shot, just drawing away from the shot and hitting it in the air for Yusuf Yohanna to take a simple catch. He's gone after scoring 8, and West Indies 23 for 2.
New batsman is the West Indies captain Brian Lara, coming in now to his advertised position. Lara off the mark. He's timed it very well off the legs. Long chase here for the fielders. And the despairing dive doesn't make it, so that's a good piece of timing by Lara to get off the mark. And there's the encouragement from the wily old captain Wasim Akram for a tremendous, if vain, effort to get to the ball.
An excellent stroke from Brian Lara, rolling the wrist nicely onto the in-swinger, and a brilliant attempt by Abdur Razak there, giving in 100%, and that is what the captain wants from his fieldsman.
Here's that pull shot, which Lara will get to the boundary. That's 2 fours in the over. He really does favour that shot. It's cost him his wicket on a few occasions. It did on Thursday against Wasim Akram. This time it's 4.
Well, when it comes off, it looks a pretty picture. Half pull, half whip from Brian Lara. With field restrictions, that is a very good Monday shot. Going across, picking the length up early.
That's a lovely shot. That's 4. Beautifully struck by Hines. He had the width and the length.
This was beautifully executed. Stroke through the point area. Just a little shot from Wasim Akram. Short and wide, in fact. And the left-hander latching on to that one in a flash. To pitch it wide and short, it'll be there for the taking, and Waqar Yunus paying the penalty.
Beautifully struck by Lara. This is the authentic Brian Lara. Off the first delivery, not a bad ball.
He's been playing really well off the pads, Brian Lara, throughout this Toronto sojourn. Beautifully picked off his pads. Just a little uppish in the air, but away from the fieldsman. And that is what matters in the end.
My goodness. That was like a crack of a rifle. Hammered through the offside. Well, this is what the crowd has come to see from Brian Lara, and they haven't got it so far.
Rocking back on the back foot and majestically putting it away.
Skillfully bowled. Slow ball to end off the over. 11 came off it. A wide and a leg by included. It's 52 for 2.
It's been a good match so far for Abdur Razak. Got a very good 50 batting at 6 in a record partnership with Yusuf Yohana. They put on 149. Now he's got the ball in his hand. But Brian Lara is giving him a bit of a hiding at the moment. This is vintage stuff. Absolute joy to watch Brian Lara.
Well, it's that ball that's just short of the length, and Lara's onto it in a flash. It does get him out. So it's just short of a length. It's not that bad a ball. It's one of his favourite shots, but also it's a getting out shot.
Oh, it's beautifully bowled. He's given him first pads and bat. Lara doesn't like it. He probably thinks it was the other way around, or was it missing off stump? West Indies are 59 for 3.
Well, I'd like to see that again on slow motion, and I'm sure I'm going to see it. Deceives him in length. Lara playing back to a fullish length ball. And that's out. I think that's a wonderful decision. That's it, the pad. He missed him. I think he did him for pace. We'll obviously see that time and again. It's a fine little cameo in the end, but not enough. 59 for 3.
Ricardo Powell is the new man in, just 20 years old, right-handed batsman.
I don't think. That's that straight on ball, isn't it? That magic delivery. If I was batting against Sacklane, that's what would worry me, is that ball that goes straight on or out seam. Look at it go out. I've seen seamers never seam it as much as that out.
He's out. Very funny kind of shot from Ricardo Powell. The slow ball.
He's done it with a slower ball, Harsher, a magnificent slower ball. That looked absolutely plumb as soon as it hit him. He did him for pace, or lack of it. Watch here. Comes out the back of his hand. That's out, just running in. And then the foot comes further forward. But when he hits him, that's plumb. That's a terrific delivery. Powell's gone, and West Indies 60 for 4.
Jimmy Adams comes in. 2 quick wickets for Pakistan. Second time in 2 matches. Abdul Razak gets rid of Ricardo Powell. Jimmy Adams calling single, and he could be in trouble here. Very slow to start off for the second run, young Hines. Umpire Steve Dunn has asked for the third umpire. This is a good sliding stop.
Saklan Mushtaq getting rid of the ball quickly, and he's in.
This has been smashed away. It was short, and Hines has timed it very well.
Well, there is no pace in this pitch, and if you just bowl a little shot, the ball stays up to be hit. And this is what exactly happened. Nicely put away by the left-hander. Hit it hard and in the gap.
He's got a bottom edge. Arshad Khan not having any luck at all. So he's given byes. Nice use of the feet there by Hines. The mid-on was a little bit wide.
This is a very good stroke. Had the fielder in mind. Knew that he had to pick it up early so that the ball could go straight.
Lovely shot. Found the gap. Just beat the diving point. Deep cover, and third man couldn't get around. And that's a fine shot from Jimmy Adams.
Using the pace of the ball, just playing it late so it goes behind square, caressing the ball rather than trying to beat it.
Shot continues, and Adams continues to sweep. And a run here for Wasim Akram, and a good piece of work by the captain. They're coming back for the third. Not a good throw from Wasim Akram, but he tried to get it back as quick as possible to prevent the batsman from coming for that third, but it was well run by Hines.
I think he's got a good plan here, as that Jimmy Adams. It's bringing him runs either off the bat, the pad, gloves. It's working. It can be very upsetting for spin bowlers when somebody sweeps well. You should sweep off good length. You don't sweep when it's a full length. It's a good length ball. The batsman would normally block. When you get somebody who sweeps it well and keeps scoring, it's quite irritating, upsetting for the spin bowler.
What?
Yeah, they're doing very well. They've got a nice little bit of momentum and confidence going of these two batsmen. Might think they're a long way away from the target of 223, but I think they're on course for repairing the damage early on.
Well, the top edge sweep now goes to Akram, and finally the sweep shot gets at Adams. So that's an important wicket. Calculated risk to sweep it against the off-spinner. And in the end, Adams pays the price, but he's done a good job in helping to repair the early damage.
Yeah, he had a plan. It was working. I think this was he had to stretch a little bit for that. We'll come back to it on the replay and have a look. 128 for 5.
So another young Jamaican left-hander has come in to replace a rather older Jamaican left-hander. Jimmy Adams out.
See how he stretches and loses his grip. He just lacked a little control here as the hand comes off the bat. And maybe he was just stretching a little bit too far for it.
Got past the infield. That should go all the way. The car is going after it. It had just too much of a lead.
Well, the length has to be spot on a pitch like this where the ball stands up when it's pitched just a little short, and this was nicely played by Hines. Again on the back foot, working the ball away through mid-wicket this time.
So Hines, 49 not out, and only his third one-day international. And he's got it with a very good shot. He's found the fielder there, but he'll get the signal that he needs to bring up 50. Oh, good support with the West Indies as well. We saw some support with Pakistan early on. The West Indians are here in their numbers as well. To support the most promising young men as he embarks on a new career.
Yes, a confident knock from the youngster. Played straight, picked up singles, looked unflustered out there in the middle.
Now he's got runs. He's got 4 in fact. Not the most aesthetic looking of shots.
Well, Abdul Razak again trying to bowl a slow delivery, but this one was picked up by the batsman and picked up outside his off stump, worked it around over mid-wicket because there's no cushion on the boundary there.
Suspect he's found the fielder. He has. No problem at all for Abdul Razak. Arshad Khan picks up a wicket. I'm afraid at the end of Chris Gale.
Pakistan is fielding well today in this game. They missed a couple of sitters the other day against the West Indies, but the fielding on the ground as well as anything put in the air has been caught well by the Pakistani fielders. This was just an illustration of Abdul Razak getting underneath the ball and cupping his hands in time to get rid of Chris Gale. Is gone for 6 and West Indies lose their 6th wicket for 148.
Really, Jacobs has come in because Chris Gale has just holed out to long off.
Nicely bowled by Arshad Khan and a nice easy catch for Abdul Razak.
Now I'd like to think that if they had got a couple of singles, then might not have been the need to play that shot. Umpire Harper doesn't feel the need to look for the replay on that. Now, if you don't get any runs in the first couple of balls, you have to go for the big one towards the end of the over. It's amazing how often. Well, that's an interesting one. That is a very interesting one. I just said Darren Harper didn't ask for the replay. Now, where is the bat? The bat's just grounded now. Look at the foot. The foot's out. The bat's in the air. Got him. Ridley Jacobs might well be asking himself, hang on, wasn't I meant to be playing an off-spinner? Absolutely no clue. That one's gone straight through and hit the stumps.
Talk of class and variety. Have a look at this one. Ball from wider of the crease. Ridley Jacobs going for a cut shot and rattled by that straighter delivery. That's brilliant bowling by Siklan. Early exit for Ridley Jacobs. Gone for 1 in West Indies, 149 for 7.
Henry Bryan comes in to replace Ridley Jacobs. And Jacobs might well have told Bryan on the way out, right, this is almost like playing Shane Warne. Now that's one of the hazards of being a fast bowler. You can do almost everything right and still concede 4.
Well, an undercut, getting Andy Bryan 4 runs. A slow delivery from Wasim Akram.
It's a very good shot. Very well played by Hines for 4. Used his feet nicely. This has been one of the positive aspects of this match for the West Indies. Whether they win or lose, it looks as if they're going to lose this one.
Yes, he's used his feet well. And in fact, he has been using his feet quite well when even Arshad Khan was bowling.
Pulled it away between the fielders. Goes for 4 more. That's picked the crowd up.
Well, what he's doing is he's waiting for the ball now to come into him. See, he's picked that one up. He knew that this was the one that was going to come into him, not turn away from him. He's waited for it and then hit it between that fielder at deep mid-wicket and deep fine leg.
Beautiful bowling. Leg stump out of the ground with the Yorker. Not the first time, I think, that Wasim Akram has yorked a batsman, and that's just about it.
Yes, Wavell Hines joining the long list of batsmen in international cricket at the Test and one-day international level, who have been yorked comprehensively by Wasim Akram. He and Waqar Yunus, absolute specialists, just like Joel Garner of the West Indies used to be. But he's played a very good hand, 65, and it's 174 for 8.
All over the shop. It's bright sunshine here in Toronto, but all for all Henry Bryan knew we had any tricks of the sun. He really didn't have a clue. Bowled by Sacklane, 179 for 9.
Well, the only thing that can be said in his favour is that he wanted to go down fighting, not poking at the delivery, missing it completely. Chopped down another wicket for Sacklane Mushtaq's away-going delivery. Henry Bryan bowled 11, 179 for 9.
Last man, Courtney Walsh, comes into a not unfamiliar position for him of late, with the West Indies on the verge of another defeat, a defeat against Pakistan, which would give Pakistan the DMC trophy. Now let's see how clear this will be for Walsh. Not very.
What a useful cricketer Abdul Razak is. Can bat at number 3 as a pinch hitter, or down the order as we saw today, and then can bowl pretty usefully too.
Pakistan win their second successive match over the West Indies. They take the DMC trophy. 1 match to go, but it will be irrelevant now. And a comprehensive victory for Pakistan. West Indies seem to have had it sewn up over the first 30 overs of the match, when they really kept Pakistan in tight control. But then they were unstitched by that superb partnership between the two younger Pakistan batsmen.
It didn't start out well and it didn't finish well, but in the middle, Wavell Hines with a 65 top scored to give the West Indians some hope. Brian Lara also flattered to deceive, and Jimmy Adams, well, he battled through to his 28, but the rest didn't really get going, and Saklan, of course, bowled magnificently. So did Arshad Khan, gave away nothing. 2 for 27 for Arshad. Good start for him here at Toronto, and 3 for 18 for the wonder spinner Saklan Mushtaq. Their pace bowler is also bowling well, and Abdul Razak picking up 2 for 31 to back his 55 runs. A good match for him as well. That's the story of the match. Number 2 of the DMC Trophy, Pakistan opting to bat first, 222, thanks to Yusuf Yohana's magnificent century. Abdul Razak 55, and the West Indian chase faltering, ending at 180 to give Pakistan a 4.